I want to play you a song, and this, believe me, this is not about an audience like you. But when I was on the Gulf Coast, I played a lot of beach bars from the Mississippi coast through Alabama and all, the Floribama and all those Gulf Shores bars into Pensacola and hither and yon. And you have been in places where you've seen this. Something tells me that none of you were ever like this person. But there's always a guy who wants to come up and sing with the band, whether he really can or not. This is true. Whether he knows the words or not. In fact, I don't read music, but I used to keep a music stand with a blank piece of paper in front of me just to keep some people away from me. Because back at Tacky Jack's and other places, there was no stage. You just stood there. So people, could come right up and try to sing along, no matter what you were singing. So, and anyway, there's always that other person that tries to get you to play their favorite song, and you don't know it. And they never get that. So anyway, this came from years of frustration. Ladies and gentlemen, this song is not about you. At least it's not about you tonight. Don't sit right in front of the speakers and complain that the music's too loud. You can rest assured that I will be heard by the people in the back of the crowd. And how loud can it be? I heard you yell at me, "Hey, why don't you turn that all down?" Well, don't sit right in front of the speakers and complain that the music's too loud. Don't yell your request at me, buddy, if I've told you I don't know the song. I'll buy you a beer if I don't have to hear "Play Freebird" yelled out all night long. You like that? 'Cause I hate to tell you, the chances are not good that you'll hear it before you go home. So don't yell your request at me, buddy, if I've told you I don't know the song. I'm trying to make you all happy and play all your favorites tonight, no matter how stupid or sappy, no matter how hackneyed or trite. But give me a break, there's just so much I can take before I tell you where to go. And take it from me, your friends here all see you just want to be part of the show. Now if you've got a fear of rejection, then don't ask me if you can sing. You may know the words, but they all come out slurred. I know your friends think you sound like the king. And as you savored the wine, you got braver. But mister, please do the right thing. And if you've got a fear of rejection, then don't ask me if you can sing. I'm trying to make you all happy and play all your favorites tonight, no matter how stupid or sappy, no matter how hackneyed or trite. But give me a break, there's just so much I can take before I tell you where to go. And take it from me, your friends here all see you just want to be part of the show. Yeah, take it from me, this ain't karaoke, and you can't be part of my show. Thank you. Thank you for not being that guy. That's the title song of my latest album, which was recorded at the Blue Plate Special over in Knoxville. And I knew when I recorded that song, depending on where I was playing, I might run the risk of starting a fight or something. But anyway, I introduced the music that I play as a hillbilly blues Caribbean rock and roll. That's what I've been calling it for years. But now there's an actual name for it. It's called Americana, or something therein. So I wrote a little song about this because I love Americana music, and participate in a lot of Americana events in Nashville and other places. And if you listen to that music, you'll hear a lot of things that you haven't heard a lot before in such a long time. So this song is called the Americana Boogie. Take a little bit of hippie, the right amount of twang. People come from miles around just to listen to you sing. A crying steel guitar, a bluegrass mandolin. Everything old is new again. The Americana Boogie, the Americana Boogie. Put a fiddle in the middle, you can western swing it all night long. Ah, you can rock it, you can roll it, but you can't pigeonhole it. You can dig it, you can pick it, this Americana Boogie song. They say it's hot and new, but it's the picker's deja vu. Just play those country licks from back in 1962. She's Nouveau Loretta Lynn, he's retro Ernest Tubb. I'm a virtuoso on the walk that I rub the Americana Boogie, the Americana Boogie. Put a fiddle in the middle, you can cage and swing it all night long. Hey, you can rock it, you can roll it, but you can't pigeonhole it. You can dig it, you can pick it, this Americana Boogie song. It's over the hills in Lauderdale. Drink a little old crow and you can't fail. Western shirts and cowboy boots, honey, it's alright to show your roots. It's over the hills in Lauderdale. Drink a little old crow and you can't fail. Western shirts and cowboy boots, honey, it's alright to show your roots. The Americana Boogie, the Americana Boogie. Put a fiddle in the middle, you can cage and swing it all night long. Hey, you can rock it, you can roll it, but you can't pigeonhole it. You can dig it, you can pick it, this Americana Boogie song. You can dig it, you can pick it, this Americana Boogie song. You can dig it, you can pick it, this Americana Boogie song. Ah. Oh, thank you. This is so much fun. I love the blues, and in Nashville I've got an 8-piece band, and that's what we'll be doing our Mardi Gras show with. But we've got saxophones and keyboards, and I play the electric guitar in that group, and we have a lot of fun with the blues. And I've always thought that just like comfort food, there is also comfort music, you know? When you want to feel better, you go to your refrigerator, reach in there and grab whatever it is that makes you feel better. But I believe you may also have that stack of, I was about to say that stack of records, but you know, that playlist maybe is what you've got now of songs that you just enjoy hearing. Perhaps you tune into your favorite Pandora channel or whatever it may be. Anyway, this song sort of is a tribute to that. This is called Comfort Music. It might be Delta blues, it might be blue suede shoes, it might be what this old guitar might have a mind to choose. It's comfort music, comfort music, it's comfort music, comfort music. It's like your favorite feel-good food, it just puts you in a better mood. It's comfort music. When I need to call a doc, Watson and Cheatham, they both rock. Or maybe my man Otis singing, sitting on the dock. It's comfort music, comfort music. Lord, it's comfort music, it's comfort music. It's what you would play if you could, just cause it makes you feel so good. It's comfort music. sing. I call my Mississippi Kings. BB and Albert always make me feel good when they sing. It's comfort music, comfort music. It's comfort music, it's comfort music. Said this is how it cooks for me, but you may have your own recipe for comfort music. Thank you. Once when I was in the Caribbean, I discovered a country singer, believe it or not. He is a guy who has made a living playing country music in the Caribbean. He's based in the Cayman Islands. His name is Barefoot Man. He's a world music artist. He performs in England and Las Vegas and all these places, but he lives in the Caribbean, somewhere between the Bahamas and Jamaica and the Caymans. I think Cayman's mainly where he lives. So years ago, I was down there and I bought his cassette tape. That tells you how many years ago it was. And so I thought, well, I have some Caribbean-type songs like Hustling on Bay Street and so forth like that I would like to send him. I found out how to reach him, and we corresponded by fax. Yeah. I'm not kidding you, by fax. So the protocol for Nashville songwriters in those days was to put 3 songs on a cassette tape. You never just put 1, you always put 3. So I put the 2 Caribbean songs that I really thought he would like, since he played down there all the time, and then this 3rd song, just because it was a new song that my friend Jim Sparks and I had written together. Believe it or not, as you know, you probably guessed the story, he chose to record the one that was the 3rd one, not either of the 2 that we really thought would work for him. Anyway, so this song sort of addresses some of the technology I just described. And how many of you have smartphones? I'm just curious. Just raise your hand. Everybody in the room, right? Well, that's changed not only the way we live, but it's really changed the music business. Do you remember the song that used to go, "Put your sweet lips a little closer to..." Well, that would never work now. So we decided to write a song that sort of summed this up. We hope you like it. I know you'll be calling most any day, expecting me to answer in my usual way, but neither one of us has one new thing to say, so tell it to my voicemail just how you feel today. If you're sorry you hurt me, press 1. If you're begging forgiveness, press 2. Press 3 if you want to come back home. But if you're happy with him, just hang up at the tone. I was up late surfing the internet last night, and I was shocked to find out that you have your own website. I thought we had some secrets, but I found I wasn't right. There are topics in your chat room, and they're going out worldwide. If you're sorry you hurt me, press 1. If you're begging forgiveness, press 2. Press 3 if you want to come back home. But if you're happy with him, just hang up at the tone. You're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. What should I expect? Now I know I'm not the only one who sees your pics and texts. By the way, this show is going out live on Facebook right now. So I want to thank all the people on Facebook out there in the hither and yon watching this little program. If you're sorry you hurt me, press 1. If you're begging forgiveness, press 2. Press 3 if you want to come back home. But if you're happy with him, just hang up at Thank you. And, you know, that little piece of poetry right there was recorded by the Barefoot Man, and he actually sent us our royalties in a U.S. money order in advance. And we were so thrilled. That meant we had $300 in two different banks. We were riding high. So that song sat on, and Barefoot Man put it not only on his cassette, but then he made a CD and put it on there. And then fast forward 10 years later, I get this message from a folk music duo in California, and they had been in the Cayman Islands, and they bought that CD of the Barefoot Man that had that song on it and asked if they could record it, and of course we said yes, please do. Finally, I recorded it just a few years ago, so it took me a while to get around to it. It shows you the evolution of a song and where things might go. So anyway, you never know. You just never know. I'm going to do another little blues tune for you. I realized that, you know, we not only do we play Mardi Gras every year, but we also play a big St. Patrick's Day show, and we've played other events around Easter and other holidays. And here's my game plan. You'd be amazed at the number of people that have never heard of me. I mean, I am. But they've all heard of Mardi Gras and St. Patrick's Day and Easter. And so we've done the downtown Nashville 4th of July big celebration at the Bridgestone Plaza several times, and it's been great fun. We've played on the riverfront and all like that. But I realized I didn't have a patriotic song, so I thought I will write this one. And they say if you're going to write a song with somebody, choose another person that's already had a hit. So I thought, well, Thomas Jefferson did pretty well with that Declaration of Independence. I'll co-write it with him, so this is These Independence Blues. My mood is just as dreary as your back porch was last night when you slammed the door behind me without turning on the light. I walked out in the dark, but in truth that's where I've been, never knowing where I stood or if I would see you again. You say you need your freedom, you take all that you can use. I'll sing these independence blues. These independence blues are dogging me. I don't know who has set the other free. Go on, pursue life, love, and liberty. These independence blues are dogging me. I heard a salesman say that you can't give nothing away. I tried to give you all my love. You said no thanks today. Beer is in a bottle, sardines are in a can. You didn't realize I was in the palm of your hand. You're leaving, you my loving, you're just leaving me confused. I'll sing these independence blues. These independence blues are dogging me. I don't know who has set the other free. Go on, pursue life, love, and liberty. These independence blues are dogging me. While I compose this anthem, call me F. Scott minor key. The discourse we're not having don't allow for harmony. No bombs are bursting up above a love that isn't there. You declare your freedom, you can have it. I declare these independence blues are dogging me. I don't know who has set the other free. Go on, pursue life, love, and liberty. These independence blues are dogging me. These independence blues are dogging me. Thank you. When you said if it weren't for these different people, that reminded me of a song title because the first song for which I ever made any money is called If It Weren't For You. And it happened in the early 1980s, and I entered the lyrics in a lyric writing contest, and I won a quarterfinalist or an honorable mention or something with this song just based on the lyrics. And they sent me a check for $25 and a plaque that I still have on the wall in my house in Nashville. Now, the entry fee for the contest was $15, so I only came out $10 a head, but it was still a profit, you know. So I feel compelled to share this song. And again, they didn't hear the music; they just saw the lyrics. So I hope you enjoy this. It's a shame that Valentine's Day was last week, because this would be the perfect song for Valentine's Day. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't know how fat I am. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't even give a damn. But if you didn't tell me how much weight I need to lose, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't sing these old fat blues. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't know I drink too much. If it weren't for you, well, I would not know beer's a crutch. But if it weren't for you, well, I would not drink so much booze. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't sing these drinking blues. If it weren't for you and all the good you do, why, if you didn't tell me all the problems that I had, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't know I felt so bad. All right. I wouldn't know I drive too fast. If it weren't for you, well, I would not regret my past. If you didn't tell me all the stupid things I've done, if it weren't for you, I would have thought that they were fun. If it weren't for you and all the good you do, why, if you didn't tell me all the problems that I had, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't know I felt so bad. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't know I felt so bad. Thanks, you all romantics. All right. I always knew that was a love song. Growing up in Mississippi, I really enjoyed my time down there. I lived in Mississippi till I was 24 years old, and still get back as often as I can to the different places that I love. And Mississippi, I do believe, at least when I was growing up, had more beauty queens per capita than any other state in the Union. And I liked that about it. I was okay with it. So this is sort of a little tribute to some of the women I knew when I was growing up down there. This is called Seductive Eyes. You got seductive eyes. You got a sexy smile. All the way you're winking, you know what I'm thinking. Honey, I like your style. You come from way down south, and honey, I can tell you're mighty fine cut glass. You're a touch of class. You're a southern belle. Well, you're Scarlett O'Hara in a red Corvette, smoking those skinny little cigarettes, always wearing the latest dress. That's why I like you so much, I guess. You're talking mighty slow. Why don't you stay a while? I like your southern drawl, and that ain't all. Honey, I like your style. Well, you're Scarlett O'Hara in a red Corvette, smoking those skinny little cigarettes, always wearing the latest dress. That's why I like you so much, I guess. You got seductive eyes. You got a sexy smile. All the way you're winking, you know what I'm thinking. Honey, I like your style. Yeah, the way you're winking, I can tell what you're thinking, and I like your style. That was one side. I was the last person to make a 45 RPM record that thought people were still buying them. And that was one side of one that came out in 1986, that song did. So, back in my, right after I got out of college, I had the good fortune to I got into the radio business, and I ended up being the news director of a radio station in my early 20s. And I had a poolside apartment in Mobile, Alabama on the Gulf Coast. And even then, I was studying songwriting, and as a journalist, we have one right here, Gary Nelson, who probably can verify this. It was Yogi Berra who said, "You can observe a lot just by watching." Well, that sort of became my motto, and as I was living in that poolside apartment, I thought I should go out and observe. And so I went to that pool and I observed a lot, all in the name of the best quality song I can bring you here today. This is the result of that. It's called Pool People. Feel free to twist again like you did last summer if you want to. Black bikini, suntan oil, another cigarette, heavy on and an iPad. She's the queen of the poolside set. She's a blonde bombshell, she'll go through hell to get that perfect tan. She might even swim, so everyone will know she can. All the cool people, they're the cool people. They fly themselves on weekends out in God's own microwave. They hope it's sunny Sunday, so at work on Monday, they'll be known as cool pool people with those tans that never fade. He's wearing brand new Ray-Bans, a Cabo visor, the epitome of cool. He's getting blonder and darker, drinking beer out by the pool. Then it's water, volleyball, and won't we all have fun? That's part of the ritual of worshiping the sun. All the cool people, they're the cool people. They fly themselves on weekends out in God's own microwave. They hope it's sunny Sunday, so at work on Monday, they'll be